A traffic stop in Charlotte County leads deputies to a strange discovery. Check this out. Deputies say a woman pulled a gator out of her pants this morning after the driver she was with got pulled over for running a stop sign. They say she also had 43 striped turtles in her car. Fish and Wildlife are now investigating this case. Oof. A crash in Ave Maria over the weekend has turned deadly. Last night around 6, 2 cars crashed head-on, sending 3 people to the hospital. This happened on Camp Kias Road and Pope John Paul II Boulevard. Troopers say a 49-year-old woman from Ave Maria died, but have not yet released her name.
Tomorrow, the whole community is going to honor those who have died in the line of duty in Southwest Florida. There's going to be a fallen officer memorial at 9 o'clock in the morning at Centennial Park in Fort Myers. This is an annual event. It's the way we remember fallen officers from Fort Myers Police, Lee County Sheriff's Office, and Florida Highway Patrol. Everybody's invited to attend and pay tribute to those who made the ultimate sacrifice. The event will also recognize the start of National Police Week, which begins this Sunday, May 12th, through Saturday, May 18th. One of the men running to be your next Lee County Sheriff is getting some big endorsements from the 2 men who used to hold the position. In a press conference today, Jim Levens announced he's been endorsed by former sheriffs Rod Shope and John McDougal. He calls both of the men his mentors. In letters to Levens, they both say he's qualified for the job because of his experience working in the sheriff's office for so many years. Levens says it's his 30 years of service at the sheriff's office in many different roles that makes him the best candidate to lead the office.
I was watch commander, I ran homicide, I've done it all, basically. I've got over 4,000 hours of advanced training in law enforcement, and it's time to put cop's cop to be the sheriff of Lee County.
Recently, the incumbent sheriff, Carmine Marcino Seen here, announced he plans to run for the office as well. He was appointed last year when Sheriff Mike Scott retired. Governor Scott appointed him. Rescue crews worked to remove a dump truck driver after the whole truck overturned in these woods in South Lee County today. Officials say the dump truck and a UPS truck were involved in this crash. Happened this afternoon at Corkscrew Road in Alico. Officials say the truck driver ended up in the hospital, but is expected to be okay, and the second driver is also okay, so both very lucky. There's no word yet on what caused the crash.
You can expect some minor traffic disruptions on the Sanibel Causeway. The Lee County Department of Transportation will be inspecting the bridges until the end of the summer. No lane closures are anticipated, but workers will be on the bridge shoulders from 9 in the morning until about 4:30 on weekdays. New information on a plane that ended up in the St. Johns River Friday night.
That's right. We had this for you as breaking news. All humans on board survived, as we told you, but authorities say some dead pets have been recovered from the jet. A dog and 2 cats were found in their carriers in that Boeing 737 that skid into the St. John River after landing at Naval Air Station in Jacksonville. None of the more than 140 people on board was seriously hurt. Miami Air, which owns the plane, says each passenger will now get $2,500 for what happened. Investigators say the pilots requested to change runways shortly before that landing. There's still no word, though, on exactly why the plane slid into the river. The newest royal bundle of joy is finally here.
We've all been waiting, right? Less than 1 year after their wedding captivated a global audience, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex welcomed their first child, the baby boy weighing 7 pounds and 3 ounces. Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan are still deciding on a name. No matter what they choose for the name, the royal baby is 7th in line for the throne.
And of course, we want to hear what you think about any name suggestions or speculation you can share on
Patrick.
Facebook. It sounds very royal.
Yeah,
you know?
I know.
I don't want anyone hitting me up for money, though. You might think I'm related to me. A Florida community rallying around a little boy who's battling a really tough disease. How the boy's whole elementary school is making sure he gets as much support as possible during this tough time.
A newly opened resort in the Keys is now closed after this massive fire over the weekend. How some hotel employees helped to get other people out just in time. You're watching Fox 4 News at 6.
I'm meteorologist Danny Beckstrom, and as your kids head out to the bus stop tomorrow morning, we'll see slightly drier conditions. We do have a little bit drier air working in. That will allow for a touch more sun tomorrow morning with not much of a rain chance. An isolated chance will sneak back into the forecast for the second half of the day tomorrow, but at least as they're heading to the bus stop and their early recesses, skies should be sunny and conditions will be dry. Highs, though, still on the warm side. We'll top out in the upper 80s near 90 for the rest of the work week. I'll have your full forecast tomorrow morning on Fox 4 Morning News until 9 a.m.
Live from the station that's in your corner. You're watching Fox 4 News at 6.
A fiery emergency in Key West over the weekend. It's really incredible video. Part of a hotel resort went up in flames just a few months after the business opened its doors.
Sounds terrible. Reporter Leanne Moorjohn has the story.
I can't believe it. This is so sad.
Flames tearing through a luxury resort in Key Largo. The fire burning at the Bungalow's adults-only all-inclusive resort, an oasis that's only been open for about 5 months.
Drove up here and I saw all the fire trucks and stuff and police officers.
Neighbors describing what they saw early Sunday morning.
I was like, I don't know, I hope this whole property doesn't go down.
Firefighters say it all started around 5 a.m. The fire was contained to the beach house shown here in this rendering, a portion of the resort which contains the pool and restaurant.
One of my line cooks were there trying to grab people out with the golf cart, getting people to safety. So that was really great and courageous of him doing that.
Firefighters tackled the blaze from above, shooting water down from the roof. The fire did not spread to the guest bungalows, but some guests say they didn't even realize there was an emergency on the property.
We weren't even aware. We just left. They did a good job just evacuating everybody.
Daylight shows the smoldering scene from the water. Sous chef Joe Renta worries that he and his coworkers may have just lost their jobs.
I feel devastated. You know, we create great food there. It's a great place for people to be there. And just want to see what happened myself.
Neighbors say they want to see this place rebuilt.
It's scary. The place just got built and it's really nice.
They're going to have to rebuild this place. It's going to take quite a while too.
Well, that was Leanne Moorjohn reporting. The resort says nobody was hurt, but they are closed until further notice.
Hundreds flocked to Odessa, Florida, hoping to get something from the house of Chris Jericho. The longtime wrestler and rock star held an estate sale on Friday and Saturday, selling everything from autographs to dishware. The proceeds are going to diabetes research. Jericho has fans all over the world thanks to his longtime career in wrestling, music, acting, writing, and podcasting. He recently purchased a new home and invited fans to help clean out his old one. Jericho is one of the many famous pro wrestlers who make Tampa Bay their home, including John Cena and Hulk Hogan.
We want to give you a live look right now on Fox 4 News at 6 at what's going on at the White House. President Trump presenting the Medal of Freedom to Tiger Woods. As we all know, unless you've been under a rock, Tiger Woods just shocked the world, the sports world and beyond, when he won the Masters recently. A huge comeback. The president very admiring of him at that time and offering to give him this big honor. So making him smile and talking to his fans there gathered at the White House. Again, you're watching it live here on Fox 4 News at 6 as Tiger Woods gets ready to receive the Medal of Freedom from the president.
I got that suit special for today. Well, here's a story about the power of friendship. Josh, an 8-year-old boy from near West Palm, is battling this aggressive form of bone cancer.
Now, he has to undergo 9 months of chemotherapy. It's just a couple hours south, though. He's got to go to a children's hospital in Miami. So his second-grade classmates in Palm Beach County are missing him so much. So is the whole school. And this is how they're showing their support.
I came home and I asked my mom, and then my teacher announced it in class, and I said, well, this must be happening.
Well, that student has raised more than $400 just by selling those beautiful homemade desserts. Frontier Elementary kids also made a get well sign for Josh to hang in the hospital, along with a whole gift basket of donated items.
He's ours. He's a student from our school, and so it's not one of those things where it's going off to maybe somebody that they don't know. So they really have all been just rallying around the family and trying to do something to help cheer him up.
Josh was in Miami all this weekend getting another round of chemo. His family says he faces several surgeries in the months ahead, but thanks to his classmates, he knows his friends are with him every step of the way.
One Lee County teacher got quite the surprise today. The Lee County School Board announced Daniel DeShazo as the 2019 New Teacher of the Year. DeShazo is the Junior Leadership Program teacher at Colusa Middle School. This is a JROTC-style cadet training program. It teaches just leadership and discipline and character. DeShazo spent 5 years in the Marines before making the switch to education.
Well, this could be a deal for Mr. DeShazo or perhaps some others. This is Teacher Appreciation Week we're in right now, a time to say thanks to those who are preparing our next generation for a bright future. And in honor of this, some local restaurants are offering some sweet deals. This week, teachers can grab a free appetizer with the purchase of an entree at Cheddar's. They can also go to PayWave for 33% off any regular entree. Chick-fil-A is offering teachers their choice of a free Chick-fil-A regular or spicy chicken sandwich, grilled chicken sandwich, or regular or grilled chicken nuggets. The offer is valid today, and teachers have to bring their ID with them to get the deals.
All right, live look at our Storm Smart Sky Cam tonight from the Best Western waterfront in North Fort Myers, showing skies partly to mostly cloudy across the area. Not much rain in Southwest Florida this afternoon. As a result of those southwesterly winds that have been keeping most of the storm chances inland, it looks like that's going to change a bit as we get towards the middle part of the week. As we start to get more of an easterly flow, that should allow more of the storms to start firing up on our side of the state. Now, even then, it doesn't look like it will be a big chance for rain here throughout the week. Storm Shield Fort Doppler, though, is tracking a little bit of rain right now. Glades, Hendry, Inland, Collier. You can see some of these heavier downpours just due south of Colusa and right on the Palm Beach and Hendry County line as they kind of drift off towards the west. Extreme northeastern Glades County around Buckhead Ridge, and those are tracking up towards Okeechobee County. Some heavier downpours there. So we'll be watching to see if we see a few more of these pop up as that outflow boundary, the rain-cooled air from the storms earlier, tries to push back towards the west. So Borehaven, Palmdale, maybe heads up for you guys. Could see a shower or two before the evening is up. But most areas, though, will be staying dry. Temperatures have been held down today as a result of the cloud cover, only into the mid to upper 80s through the afternoon. Still warm and humid nonetheless, and we're expecting more of the same here as we go into later on tonight. Mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures by midnight tonight falling into the upper 70s, and then we're looking at low to mid 70s for overnight low temperatures here as you wake up here on your Tuesday morning with more clouds and a chance for some showers and storms here for tomorrow afternoon. Notice where everything is moving. The storms develop and then they push inland and then eventually off the Atlantic coast. Now we're going to start to see things change a bit as we get a front that's going to be weakening and sagging into the area here for tomorrow. We'll start to get more of an easterly wind or east to northeast wind, and that should allow for a few more storms to pop up on our side of the state. That combined with the winds aloft that'll be changing direction as well. So here's a look at Predictor. Starting off tonight, you can see the storms that are out there now. They should dissipate after sunset, and then we should be mainly dry overnight. Skies are going to stay mostly cloudy. Those big storms that are out over the Gulf, the tops of those storms are blowing off over the state, and that will remain the case through tomorrow morning. So we'll start the morning off with some filtered sunshine, and then watch what happens tomorrow afternoon. We're going to start to see storms firing up again with the Gulf sea breeze, and I think with the lighter winds, we should see the storms develop a little bit closer to our area. So I do think that along the Highway 29 corridor we'll have the best chance. Those will continue across our area tomorrow evening. And then notice the clouds coming from a different direction on Wednesday, east to northeast, and we're expecting a few storms to pop up on Wednesday afternoon, although the chances right now looking widely scattered at best, so not a widespread situation by any means. Tonight's forecast down to 72, a few inland storms. Tomorrow, 89 under a mixture of cloud and sunshine with a light east-northeasterly wind with about a 30% chance for a late-day storm. Here's a look at your marine forecast. Seas 2 feet or less, northwest winds at 10 knots, inland waters a light chop. 7-day forecast, storm chances continue for the rest of the week. Highs upper 80s to around 90, overnight lows around 70, and then more of the same here heading into the weekend as well.
I feel just as good as I did 25 years ago.
Yeah, he does, and they look good. This celebration for 100-year-old twins who say they're not slowing down. Hear their secret for living so long. You're watching Fox 4 News at 6. These guys look good. These twins in Arkansas celebrating a huge milestone over the weekend. James and George Morrow turned 100.
Love it. Their secret to looking young, they say, to always be honest and truthful. And while age is just a number, the twins still enjoy the simple things in life, like gardening. The pair also shared this advice for the younger generation.
Instead of looking at these phones and this, to learn something and how to do something. Not be afraid to work and leave the booze and the wild women alone.
Leave the booze and wild women alone. Okay.
Check.
The twins plan to keep on enjoying life. One of them even got his license renewed.
Impressive.
Very.
Sometimes cracking the case is more than just traditional police work. Fox 4's Lisa Greenberg sitting down with a SWAT team negotiator to talk about the tactics that are used to reach a peaceful conclusion and how they handle the calls that don't go that way. Plus,
and then looking around, all of a sudden you see a parachute in the trees.
Hello. Trapped in a tree. How a trip to a park for a Florida paraglider ended in a rescue mission. You're watching Fox 4 News at 6.
Live from the station that's in your corner. You're watching Fox 4 News at 6.
keeping an eye on water quality for you. Southwest Florida Congressman Francis Rooney's meeting on water quality, which is set for tomorrow, is actually raising a lot of questions. Thanks for sticking with us on Fox 4 News at 6:30. I'm Patrick Nolan.
And I'm Jane Monreal. And one of those questions, why is it closed to the public? A local activist tells Fox 4's Rachel Lloyd, since leaders are trying to silence the public, he plans to silently protest the meeting.
John Heim walks along Bunch Beach. He says enjoying Southwest Florida's clean water today, plagued by red tide and blue-green algae last year.
We're talking about a major problem down here, water quality as the #1 issue.
Something Congressman Francis Rooney says he's working to combat with the meeting at Florida Gulf Coast University set for Tuesday. In an email, Rooney's spokesperson says all are invited, from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention to local city governments, everyone except the media and the public.
In all the years I've done this clean water activism, I've never seen a meeting set up to where it bars not only the public but also the media. Let's get into these meetings and demand solutions from our public officials.
And since he can't do that, he says he'll silently protest outside. He's calling it Let's Crash Rooney's secret meeting.
You cannot let politicians come in here and have secret meetings without the public being included in the media for translatable information down to the public sector.
But others like Wade Nye says closing the meeting to the public may not be such a bad idea.
I think it would confuse matters to have a lot of different people with a lot of different opinions who might not, like me, don't have a lot of expertise in this area.
He says first lawmakers should meet with experts to come up with a plan and then invite public input. We do know there will be a press conference following the meeting. Depend on Fox 4 to keep you updated. In Fort Myers, Rachel Lloyd, Fox 4 in your corner.
We also know Governor DeSantis is going to be at that meeting as well. There's also another meeting on water tomorrow. County commissioners from Glades, Martin, Okeechobee, Palm Beach, and Hendry counties are going to be holding a joint meeting to discuss those Lake Okeechobee water releases and just the water quality in general in Lake O, because they release it on both sides of the state. It's happening at 6 p.m. at Okeechobee High School.
Tonight, we're getting an update on the sludge removal process in Dunbar. The city of Fort Myers says they have finished cleaning up and confirmed that lime residual material has been removed from the South Street site. They'll also relocate the fence surrounding it and stabilize the site. The city plans to build a park there once soil testing is completed.
When it comes to crime and when it happens where you live, you've been telling us you want to know what it takes to actually curb it and what tools are there to cut down on the crime in the first place and who plays a key role in keeping you safe. Well, this evening, our Fox 4 Morning News anchor, Lisa Greenberg, is shining a spotlight on what it means to be a SWAT negotiator in tense situations where you and your family are at risk. She's talking to a former SWAT negotiator who says these risks, for him at least, were worth it if it meant cracking the case.
When you think of an officer, you see a person in a uniform, someone who investigates scenes, pieces together evidence, and comes to your rescue when you're a victim of a crime. But some officers have another duty. Some work like mental health counselors.
They feel that they have nothing else to live for. So they've reached rock bottom.
Dr. David Thomas is talking about barricaded suspects, or people who lock themselves inside with a weapon and make threats. It's a dynamic Dr. Thomas knows well. He's a retired police officer and spent the last 5 years of his career as a SWAT negotiator. The SWAT team shows up in numbers, in tactical gear, carrying powerful weapons. But Dr. Thomas says their number one goal is not to use them.
Use SWAT to contain and maintain a tactical advantage, and then use the hostage negotiators to negotiate, to try to come up with an outcome.
And for that outcome to be a peaceful one, the negotiator has to step into the other person's shoes, see things from their perspective.
They have to meet that person at whatever place they are to try to talk them out of that incident, get them to peacefully give up.
In March, Fort Myers police were called to Reflection Isles after a man locked himself in an apartment with a gun. Police told neighbors to stay away from the area. After several hours, they were able to talk him down and the situation ended peacefully. But Dr. Thomas says other calls can be harder. He works to find anything the person still sees importance in.
The individual has already looked at themselves and decided, I have nothing to live for. So now the key is to try to find those things. It could be a mom, it could be a dad, it could be a child. Those things that you think are important to them.
But he says many people in these situations have mental health issues or have lost everything that's mattered to them.
As I'm having this conversation with for three and a half hours, and I'm literally less than 10 feet away.
He witnessed the worst possible outcome.
Every time one of those came up, I literally would call my wife if it was 2 or 3 in the morning. I would wake her up, say, hey, I got another one of these. So I'll call you when I'm done. I would hang up the phone, step out of the patrol car, throw up, go handle the call.
Dr. Thomas says he did another 10 to 15 of these calls, and that's how he ended his career.
Now, Lisa's been sharing Dr. Thomas's perspective and his look back on his career to show you the work that goes into saving lives in our communities. Also to show you that so many of the investigators involved truly care. No matter how long it takes, they want to get people out of this safely and alive, and to remind you there's always another way. If you or someone you know is struggling, don't let it get to that point. There's a 24/7 free hotline you can call right now. The number's on your screen, 1-800-273-8255.
A hectic scene at a Jacksonville park. A paraglider had to be rescued after he got trapped in some trees about 80 feet in the air. This happened at the park yesterday. Witnesses caught the rescue on camera. Dozens of firefighters worked to get the man out of the treetops. They ended up using a shoe spike to climb the trees and get that man safely down. He was not injured. Officials say the paraglider misjudged the wind. A man in Florida is recovering tonight after he was accidentally shot by his wife's gun inside a Publix store. The Pasco County Sheriff's Office said that Vernon Messier was shot yesterday when his wife's purse fell off a counter at a Lando Lake Publix, causing the handgun inside to fire. The bullet struck Mercier in the shin. Deputies said his wife has a concealed weapons permit. No charges are expected. Tonight, more Highway Patrol troopers will be patrolling Charlotte County to catch drunk drivers. Beginning at 9 tonight until 4 tomorrow morning, the Wolf Pack operation will focus on I-75 and other major state and county roadways. Highway Patrol says if you see an aggressive driver or if you need roadside assistance, you can dial 347 from any cell phone. Former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen called out prejudice, injustice, and lies in U.S. leadership as he went to prison today. Cohen started a 3-year prison term for tax crimes and for lies and payoffs meant to protect President Trump. As he surrendered, he said he still has a lot of truth to share and hopes the U.S. has better leadership when he gets out.
Presidential candidate Cory Booker just put out some specific gun reform legislation. He calls it a bold plan to reduce gun violence in America. The New Jersey senator and Democrat says the plan would make everyone have to get a federal gun license if they want guns to own a gun. He says it would be like getting a driver's license to be able to operate a car. People who already own guns under the plan would get a grace period. Senator Booker's proposal would also require universal background checks for all buyers, restart the assault weapons ban in America, and amp up gun law enforcement. It would also limit people to buying just one gun per month. The proposal also calls for more gun violence research funding as well.
It is almost that time to celebrate the special women in your life, Mother's Day. For In Your Corner, talking to a local flower shop about how you can make that special bouquet for Mom.
Also ahead, a 7-year-old boy with some special needs becoming quite the star at this Florida elementary school. They call him the Bus Boss. How he's making sure students and drivers are all playing it safe. You're watching Fox 4 News at 6.
Net. Live from the station that's in your corner. You're watching Fox 4 News at 6.
We love to bring you the happy stories on the news.
Yes.
This one qualifies. This little boy in Pasco County is known as the Bus Boss, and he is bringing smiles to other elementary students.
I want him to be my boss. Reporter Sean Daly from our sister station shows us that this little boy's hard work has really made him stand out.
Every morning at school, 7-year-old Levi White
It's Levi!
hops off his bus and gets to work.
Levi, yeah!